Why, thanks, Jordan Ford. And yes, it is Ugly Holiday Sweater Day here at the EA Dental Arena on the Western Kentucky campus here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Today we are streaming the Hilltoppers of Conference USA and St. Mary's for the West Coast Conference, CBS Sports Network on Facebook Watch. Hello again, everyone. The Mascot's here. Dave Ryan's here. Steve Wolf is here. We're joined by John Striffen throughout our stream as well here on Facebook Watch. Nice outfit. I think my sweater's uglier, though.
I think yours definitely is ugly.
This is an interactive stream, and be sure to post all of your pictures and comments at hashtag SMCVSWKU. We'll get them on our stream, and if you don't want the comments on your phone or tablet, swipe right, they'll disappear, swipe left, and they'll reappear in the comments section. Let's talk college basketball now that the sweater stuff is all past. And without question, Jordan Ford is one of the top guards, not only in the West Coast Conference, but the United States.
Well, Ryan, I know you love this kid. He's small. He's a diminutive kid, 6 foot tall, but he gets it done in bunches. He is an unbelievable offensive player, second in the WCC in scoring. But you know what? He leads his team with his actions. Very good distributor, gets to the paint. This is a guy that's going to have to play very, very good on the road to get them one of their true road victories.
He's got 20-plus points in 4 of his last 5 games. An outstanding player, Jordan Ford of the Gales. Now you talk Charles Bassey, a 5-star high school recruit for WKU. 6'11", does it all.
Well, he does, and as Coach Stansbury said, he's got a lot of potential coming in. And as a coach told me one time, potential's a French word for ain't done it yet. But so far this year, he's leading the team in rebounds, almost 10 a game, and he's averaging 15 points. When he gets on the low block, there ain't no stopping him. You cannot let him get low below the restricted area. He is that good.
Tavion Hollingsworth has been up and down, and the Toppers need him to be up today, Steve, to beat the Gales.
He cannot go over from the three-point line. It's killing the inside game, and there's no fluidity to the offense when he doesn't hit his outside jumpers. He's got to bring his A game today.
Now let's hear from Western Kentucky head coach Rick Stansbury, joined by our John Striffen.
Coach, you guys have had a tough schedule already. Over 8,000 miles on the road, 8 of 11, but you're finally at home. How good does it feel to be back at home tonight?
Well, you know, I feel a lot better probably when I'm playing St. Mary's. You know, being home don't assure anything, but for sure we'd rather be at home than on the road. As you well know, we got to play a really good St. Mary's team.
A very young team you have this year. You've used 4 different starting point guards throughout the lineup. Have you figured that position out yet?
No, we really haven't. It's work in progress. I think as we continue to get healthy, that's probably why we play. We've had no rhythm, and it's hard to get rhythm with playing 3 or 4 different point guards, some different lineups. But we've made progress, and I do think the longer we play here now that we figured some things out. Some younger guys have gotten healthy, got a Galen Smith back. You know, Delano's a guy we've gained some confidence in at that point guard. So I think as we keep playing, we're going to keep getting better.
You talked about St. Mary's, a very good team. They're on a hot streak right now. What do you think poses the biggest threat about that team?
Well, first off, just their style, the way they play with their personnel. They got a great point guard in Ford who hurts you so many ways. Transition, he's terrific. He scores it off the shot. He scores it off the bounce. But while all that's taking place, he can catch up with the pass, too. They're a very cerebral team. Got a big guy on the inside, can score it. He's a terrific passer, too. So offensively, they're really difficult to guard.
Coach, looking forward to this one. Good luck today.
Thanks. Thanks.
All right, folks, this is a social media game on Facebook, so the whole point is to be interactive. We want to have fun, and you're probably wondering, why am I wearing this sweater? Well, that's because we are wearing ugly sweaters today, and we want to know what you think. Who do you think is wearing the ugliest sweater? If you think it's me, you can vote for me in the comment section by just using the hashtag John. If you think it's Dave, use hashtag Dave, and if you think it's Steve, use hashtag Steve in the comment section. We also want to see what ugly sweater you guys are wearing back at home or wherever you're watching this game. So make sure you take a picture of your ugly sweater. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your family. Hey, maybe it's your pet. Take that picture and then comment in the section by posting and use the hashtag SMCVSWKU. All right, guys, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Shrift, thanks so much. Obviously, it's hashtag Dave. Tommy Kuzi starting the lineup for St. Mary's, and since he's been there, assists are up and turnovers are down, and the team is 5-1 of those 6 games. Merrick Nelson will start today for Western Kentucky. Lamonte Bearden who has been playing the point guard since being reinstated to the team after an academic suspension. Injured ankle is doubtful today for the Hilltoppers. Congrats to Randy Bennett. 400th career win came Wednesday at home out of Moraga, California, against Bucknell. He told us this week it's so special because his entire head coaching career has been at one place, a place he loves, St. Mary's and the Gale program. Western Kentucky, Rick Stansbury, heard from him with Schriff a moment ago. An outstanding home record. He talked about intensity, Wolfie, with us today, and realizing this is a very big non-con game when it comes to the net ranking that'll be so important in March.
Well, and I think anytime you're at home, you have to hold serve. And, you know, after losing 2 games in a row, you want to get out of that funk. And I think that they have the recipe to do that. Got one of the best bigs in the country.
Bassey and Jordan Hunter from Australia. Jumping up, and we're underway. CBS Sports Network on Facebook. Watch, we are streaming today. Hashtag SMC BSWKU. If you don't want the comments on your device, swipe right. Want them to return, swipe left. Block down low, and Bassey. Loose chain for the Toppers. Here comes WKU, first half-court possession.
Watch Hollins with number 11. He's a creator. He can get in the lane. He looks to shoot.
Delano Benton pulls up. Back iron, rattles around. Bassett can't find the handle. But Malik Fitz, transfer from South Florida, does. Jordan Hunter, one of 10 international player traveling call on Fitz. On the St. Mary's roster, most international players in the nation.
Well, and you see right there on Fitz, the jump stop. The referees are really looking to make that a bone of contention. That's a travel when you pick up both your feet. You got to have a pivot foot. It's got to be established.
Hollingsworth watched by 4. This is Bassey on Hunter. Matchup to watch today. Jump up. Jordan. Bassey the follow-up. And it's out of bounds off of his hand. There have been as many as 20 NBA scouts in the building to watch Bassey play. A lot of the NBA draft projections have him as a top 15 pick. The one we looked at yesterday, number 11 in next spring's draft.
And what Hunter's going to do for St. Mary's is going to push him the other way. You cannot allow him to go over his left shoulder and get that deep. And Hunter's a smart player. See if he can push him to his right.
Fitz for Ford. Who's going to score first here in Bowling Green? Kuzi with 5 to shoot. Baseline reverse layup. Wasn't dry.
Now, Bassey didn't block that, but I guarantee Kuzi, when he went to the other side of the lane, he knew Bassey was looming around the rim.
Jared Savage, the icebreaker. And the first points of the afternoon.
Well, talking yesterday, when we talked with Coach Bennett, Savage is the one guy he said we cannot allow him to get going from the outside because he is a really good shooter from 3.
Fitz team's second leading scorer. Hunter has emerged as a top threat in the paint for Randy Bennett. Travels. That's right back to WKU.
Savage is shooting the ball 38% from behind the arc, and I think because the Hilltoppers were 3 for 15 in their last game, St. Mary's, the Gales are scooting back and packing it in, trying to relieve that pressure on Bassey on the low block.
So all that. Bassey finishes. 15 points a game, 9.5 rebounds a game. One of the top players in Conference USA, and he has the attention of a lot of NBA scouts. Ford the drive and finish off the left, with the left off the glass, and finally 2 points for the Gales.
Ford, the littlest guy on the court, getting into the paint, but you cannot allow Massey to pick and roll and get too low. Watch him on the restricted area guarded by Hunter. It's very hard to push him out once he gets under that restricted lane.
Missed by Nelson. Fitz has the rebound. Dan Fotu. Ford. Kuzi to fake, and he's held on the way to the basket by Delano Benton.
Everything goes through Bassey, and you'll see right here the nice pass by the freshman Banton coming to the middle of the court, drawing the defense. And then Bassey's able to get behind Fitz. Take it strong to the basket. You just can't get him, let him get that close to the basket because he's got a long wingspan. He's very adept at getting to the hoop.
For the only two so far for the Gales. Second leading scorer in the West Coast Conference. Floats to the paint, way off. Hunter, a hand on it, out of bounds. It will go back to Western Kentucky. Not the start Randy Bennett wanted. And it was a long practice here last night, Wolf. You were here for the whole thing. I caught the end. They worked out for almost 3 hours, the Gales did here.
Well, they did. And it wasn't like it was a shooting practice. They didn't shoot around today. They worked a full practice. Up and down, three-man figure eights, and they ran hard.
Delano Benton, nice take. Lefty from Toronto, Ontario with the lefts. Off the glass, and a really good start for WKU here.
The Hilltoppers are playing a nice half-court defense. They're not giving any drives to the basket other than the first drive of the game. They're keeping people in front of them, daring them to shoot the outside jump shot.
Here's Hunter with 6 to shoot. Jordan Hunter the back end. Left-handed jump hook, off the mark again. Savage the rebound. Merrick Nelson, some contact and a foul on Kuzi. Tommy Kuzi, redshirt sophomore, picks up his first foul. And we will continue to stream, of course, CBS Sports Network on Facebook. Watch a 7-2 Western Kentucky start. Let's go back to John Triffin.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. We are going to keep this interactive all game long. So earlier this week, we asked you 2 polls. We wanted to reach out to both fan base. First, we talked to Western Kentucky fans. We wanted to know which NCAA tournament highlight should we show during this show. And we asked, is it the 1971 win over Ohio State to advance to the Final Four? Is it Ty Rodgers' buzzer beater versus Drake in 2008? Or the 2012 First Four comeback versus Mississippi Valley State? Now, St. Mary's fans, we didn't leave you out either. We had another question for you guys as well. St. Mary's, we asked you, which alumnus should we highlight? Matthew Dellavedova, Jock Landale, Patty Mills, or Omar Samhan? Now, what was interesting, we got a lot of comments actually from some of the players listed on here. Omar Samhan and Jock Landale, even his mother decided to get in as well. Let's first start with Samhan. He decided to get in there. He said, opinions over to statistics, of course. And we have Jock Landale, I think, replied to him. He said, if only they could see us play one-on-one, their opinions would be confirmed. How about that? Guys going back and forth. This is what we want. Oh, sorry, we've got one more comment. Yes, for sure, but bro, you being the second best center in SMC history is still really good. I'm proud of you, number 2. Love always number 1. You know, we like a little trash talk on Facebook. It's not bad, as long as you keep it clean, right? Dave, back over to you guys.
Absolutely, Shrift. Well done there, buddy. And St. Mary's and Randy Bennett lost 67% of their scoring from last year, and Jock Landale, player involved in that Facebook poll a moment ago. West Coast Conference Player of the Year, set school records, points scored, field goals made last year. Big changes each roster this year. Savage up top hits.
He's the guy that opened it up to start the game with a 3. You have to get out and get extension on him on defense. This is not St. Mary's game. Their offense is efficient. Their defense is not throughout this whole year. So far in this first half, their offense hasn't been efficient.
Nightmare start for Jordan Ford and the Gales here on the road. A long trip. They came in Thursday night to avoid some acclimation issues with the time zone. And Hunter lost it. Bassey's been all over Jordan Hunter in the post to begin this game defensively. Traveling call, Savage, Hollingsworth not on the same page. I'm impressed early, Wolfie, with Bassey's defense.
And you know what? When the ball goes in there, he's just walling up. He's not using his arms, you know, to try to steal the ball. He's keeping his hands high. The problem right now I see with St. Mary's, they're going back to where they were in the beginning of the year. The ball is sticking. Ford is dribbling too much, and so's Cozy. They have to have better perimeter ball movement and try to get something going to the basket.
Tanner Krebs, redshirt junior, Tasmania, Australia native in. First time St. Mary's here. And Fotu is out. Kuzi the back end. Nowhere to go.
Well, you got a 6'8 guard guarding a 6'2 guard. You got to have better ball movement to beat him.
Ford delivers a 3.
Or a 3-ball from Ford. You know, the problem is, I think what they're doing is they're trying to feel out the Hilltoppers defense. With better ball movement, it'll get them some better shots.
Stan thought about a 3. Passing the post up on Hunt. A lot of contact, no whistle. Needs a bailout, and Nelson can't help him. In that case, Bass has got to take it up and draw the fouls. Check some keys of the game here, Wolf.
Well, first of all, you already got 2 turnovers. One is a walk and one was a turnover in the paint. But you have to take care of the ball and also get the ball in transition. Western Kentucky has to be themselves. Move the ball and get jumpers, and they can't let the ball stick.
Nice take and 2. Malik Fitz in a chance for a 3-point play. A crowd quieter here at Dale Arena.
Well, you see Fitz getting in there. Nobody stopping him. That time, Bantam could have stepped up and tried to take that offensive foul. I love the aggressiveness on that last possession.
Three-point play for Malik Fitz, redshirt sophomore, and the team's second leading scorer. Tulu Smith, freshman center. Originally from Mississippi, went to high school in Hawaii, and was the Honolulu Area Player of the Year.
It's nice if you put another guy that's almost 7 foot into the game to give Bassey a little bit of a break.
Savage free, great cut and finish. Jared Savage off to a great start here.
That was passed by Bantam. The freshman has done a remarkable job in this first half, getting guys open and then delivering on the pass.
Ford with a left, that is sweet. Jordan Ford the take and 2. This guy's dynamic, Steve. Special talent.
Goes both ways with his hand, right and left. This is the second leading scorer in the WCC. He's also shooting over 40% from three-point line.
Collinsworth, little hesitation. Smith trying to find a hand. Stan, no look pass down low, Nelson. What a slam finish.
That was the primary defense was great. Hunter with a nice block out of the inside, but bad defense underneath the basket.
Takeaway Savage, Ford got caught, nowhere to go with it. Savage all the way, blocked by Hunter, and out of bounds.
Right now, the Hilltoppers are doing a very good job of moving the ball. Bantam gets the ball in the lane and a no-look pass. Nelson for an easy 2, but what they're doing is they're making the extra pass, and then Bantam's been able to feed the post. He's been able to get guys open. That's the difference so far in this first half.
Smith, extra feed, but in tight quarters, and that's a bailout. And really lucky for Western Kentucky. Foul call down low against St. Mary's.
Josh Anderson's in the game. This is a kid who started early in the year at point. It's not his position. He's moved around. They have a lot of guys out of position to start the year. Western's had 4 different guys playing the point. But Josh Anderson is very good in the half-court offense.
Anderson up top. Tough break for him in that Arkansas game. Flagrant 2 call, second half of that road win at Fayetteville. And that means ejection. That's a take for Anderson, the sophomore. Out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's an outstanding talent now off the bench for Rick Stansbury and these Hilltoppers. Fits the post up. Pump fake and the finish. Nicely done by Malik Fitz.
He went right at Savage. Savage was deep in the paint. Fitz taking what the defense gave him. That's what St. Mary's is going to have to do. But defensively is where they're getting killed right now. They are not stopping the initial penetration.
It's a banker. Delano Benton. Are the banks open in Bowling Green, Kentucky? I mean, I know it's a Pete Young line, but I think you have to do it. 2:19 p.m. Central Time.
You know what, Rhino? That looked like a Dave Rhino shot before the game.
Why am I involved in this?
You use that backboard.
Why am I involved in this? First, the height comment when we opened our stream with Jordan Ford, and now this.
He, like you, did not intend for that to be used. The backboard kept the ball from going into the stands is what it did.
Let's go back to John Schrift for a little more on WKU history.
Well, thank you so much. So Western Kentucky is known for the red towel, and they can thank Colonel Edgar Stansbury for creating the red towel back in 1946. Now, the story goes that it was E.A. Diddle, who was the head coach of the basketball team at the time. He said that the towels kept disappearing and he couldn't keep track of them. So Edgar Stansbury, who was the athletic director at the time, decided to dye the towels red. That way they could keep track of them. Eventually they started buying red towels and it caught on. Now, he is a very impressive man. He was born in 1906, the same year that this university started. Now, he lived until he was 103. Back in 1998, he decided to donate $1 million to 3 scholarship funds here at the school, and in return the school decided to dedicate the second floor of this arena as the Edgar B. Stansbury Concourse. Now, interestingly enough, Stansbury, the name sounds familiar because Coach Stansbury, that was actually his grandfather's brother. So there's the connection there, guys.
Isn't that cool? 3-sport athlete trip here. Edgar B. Stansbury, assistant football coach as well on the WKU Hall of Fame as well. And the concourse, as Schrift talked about, named in his honor. And Rick Stansbury brought that up. Very special place for him. He's a native of Kentucky and really has found a home here after a great run as an assistant coach at Texas A&M after his days at Mississippi State.
He is really at home here, and I'll tell you, he's getting what the doctor ordered today. He needed somebody to come out and hit a jump shot. Jared Savage has been that guy, coming out and knocking down a couple threes, and you know, you had the crowd back into the game when he knocks those things down, but St. Mary's is not going to come out past the NBA 3 line to guard him. But his shot looks silky smooth. He's 3 for 4, has 9 points, and has really been the key here for the Hilltoppers.
Second ever meeting between these two programs. Last in Moraga, California, a couple years back. Easy win for the Gales at home. A challenge today here in Hilltopper country in Bowling Green. Tavion Hollingsworth thinking about 3 over 4 from iron, miss this time. Kept alive. Delano Benton, a freshman from Toronto, and a fresh 30 here for the home team.
Randy Bennett last night talked in practice, in that 3-hour practice. Rebound, offensive rebound. You have to get the offensive rebound and no live ball turnovers. There's a walk there. That's a cup they've had right now. The Hilltoppers have 3 offensive rebounds, way too many this early in the game. Rick Stansbury arguing that call. That is a point of emphasis this year with the referees.
Matthias Toss, freshman from Estonia, in first time. Feeds Ford and delivers another 3-ball.
That was
second triple for Jordan Ford today, Wolfie.
That was just a lost possession on defense for the Hilltoppers. You can't leave a guy that shoots 43% wide open.
Steal, but no finish for Ford this time. Tanner Krebs follows up on the fast break. That's good fundamental basketball. And the Gales get it right back. Uncharacteristic miss there from Ford. This time the layup, wild-looking shot, way too strong. Toss. Has it, and back for Krebs on a reset. Ford so dynamic. And quick. Krebs. Here's Toss. Right low block. Picked. Tavion Hollingsworth on a foul on Ford. First personal on the Gales star guard.
It's a bad pass by Toss and a smart play by Ford defensively, but you sit there as an easy handoff, and Benton went underneath instead of coming out and extending the hand. Like I said, you can't leave a 43% shooter wide open like that. That last foul on Ford was very smart because it was definitely going to be 2 points for the Hilltoppers on that transition.
Lamonte Bearden, redshirt senior guard, transfer from Buffalo, is in. We mentioned the ankle injury. He was questionable for the game today. Did not participate in this morning's shoot-around here at Diddle Arena. And Coach Stansbury was very uncertain how much time he might get from him. Anderson to take, can't finish. Smith kept it alive for a moment. Here's Ford. Bearden missed the first semester because of academics. Turned into a 9-game academic suspension. There have been a lot of off-court issues for the Hilltoppers this year. The program entering play tonight at 5-6. Hunter Jump hook, short. Tolu Smith, freshman center, rebound for the Toppers.
It was interesting talking to Rick Stansbury. He loves his team. He said, we're going to get our chemistry down. We've had a lot of different issues going on. But you see a beautiful take to the basket. Deshaun Murray decided to go pro and left in the mid-year. And as you said, Bearden only played 2 games. So once they get their chemistry down and figure this point guard situation out, they're going to be tough in the conference final.
Offensive foul, that's 2 on Jordan Ford. A big call in our first half with 9 minutes to go. In the opening 20, write that one down.
Well, this is really good hustle by Hollingsworth. This gets over and just stays his ground. That's a push off of the left arm. Very good defense, and that St. Mary's cannot lose Ford. That's a one guy that they cannot lose because he is their leader.
Has 10 of the team's 15 points, but he's on the court with 2 fouls. Anderson hangs, can't hit. Krebs, rebound. Here's Ford. Into the corner. Up top for Tanner Krebs. Elijah Thomas, redshirt sophomore, lost the handle. And Tolu Smith takes it back for Western.
This will tell you a little bit about what Coach Bennett thinks of Ford. Keeping him in the game with 2 fouls when you have 8.5 to play, it shows you he thinks he can stay in there and stay foul-free for the last 8 minutes.
Jeremiah Gambrell into the game, first time for Western. Bearden, pump fake, hangs, can't hit, short. And Hunter the rebound. Here is Ford, so dangerous in the open court. He'll knife through traffic, create good chances for his teammates. Thomas can't convert.
So far for St. Mary's, Hunter has not scored. He's got 0 for 3. He's got to put it behind him, but he's got big guys guarding him. He's got to play his game. He needs some help on the inside.
Lamonte Bearden handles here, transfer from Buffalo, as we talked about in the Mid-American Conference. He played 2 NCAA tournaments for the Bulls. Savage hangs, back iron miss. Smith trying to keep it alive. Too hard off the glass. Tolu Smith couldn't find a handle. Taken back by Fotu.
4 guys hitting the boards for the Gales. Helped them get that rebound.
Here's Fotu from New Zealand. It rattles out. And Hunter kept it alive for Ford. A fresh 30 for Jordan Ford, the floor general, and a reach call.
I'd like to see Fotu get down low and get inside. He's such a strong player. He's on the perimeter. I know he's a good jump shooter, but the guy, he and Ford, 2 guys that can hang around that rim.
Jeremiah Gambrell picks up his first personal foul. A little more on the Gale star, Jordan Ford. Let's go back to Schrift.
Well, you saw him just drive to the basket there. He has created a very different dynamic in the locker room for this St. Mary's team here behind me. Typically in a locker room after practices, you'll see a lot of college basketball teams maybe blasting music, playing cards, shooting pool. Not this St. Mary's team. After practice or in their off time, you will find them playing chess. That is because Jordan Ford is a former childhood chess prodigy. His nickname was the Storm because he was always on the attack. His dad actually taught him the game of chess when he was 4. And even at that early age, he was playing against adults. But it's funny, because he wasn't big enough, they'd have to stack chairs on top of each other just so he could see the chessboard. Now, he told us he reached as high as 10th in the nation at his age group. He even won a couple state titles in the 2nd grade. But at the age of 8, he decided he fell in love with hoops and he changed his passion. But it is interesting dynamic that he has created here at St. Mary's. Many of the guys cannot beat them on their own, so that whenever they play chess against Jordan Ford, you see a couple guys teaming up together to try to beat him. Not easy.
Hey, Schrift, right now when he plays in the half court, he's playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers. I mean, he is so good at getting to the basket, and he has had a pretty star-filled first 8-10 minutes there. Getting the ball to the basket. He can throw up the 3 ball. You know, but what I love, Rhino, is that he leads this team, and you can see guys are looking to feed off of him, whether he's scoring or not. And I think offensively and defensively, I love that Coach Bennett kept him in the game.
With the 2 fouls, numbers for Ford outstanding. We told you he's number 2 in the West Coast Conference in scoring. Only Yoli Childs of BYU, a 1/10 of a point more, 22.9, entering play here this weekend, and we met with Jordan after the team practice last night. Self-proclaimed gym rat, loves chess, loves music, big Steph Curry fan. There's a lot more than basketball than just for Jordan Ford. And I think that kind of goes a long way toward the leadership. Well-rounded young man, really passionate about what he does.
Randy Bennett looks for those kind of guys. And he said earlier in the year when he had guys that were forwards playing the guard position, he felt like, well, you know, that'll work out. He realized that you have to give somebody in there that can work on a string with Ford. That's when he brought Kuzi in, and it's really freed up Jordan Ford.
Finish there for Fitz with a nice roll on the jump hook. Gambrell handles here for Western.
One thing Coach Stansbury said to us today was, I can't have this team go into lapses. And right now they're in a little bit of a lapse until that beautiful shot by the big fella. Wow! They have to play consistent through the whole game. They have to be themselves, and that's a nice thing for the scouts to see, a 20-foot jump shot by the big fella.
Your five-star center steps out and hits his fourth three-ball of the season. A long-range triple. Fitz, reverse layup. Spectacular move by the transfer from South Florida.
Fitz is aggressive. You know, he'll shoot the outside jump shot, but I love when he gets it into the paint.
And make a steal. Here's Fitz to the basket. Blocked from behind. Anderson. Hunter at the end with a steal. And a save for Ford. Knocked out of bounds by Ford. And the Hilltoppers get it back. Wild back and forth exchange. And how about pursuit? Transition D for Anderson.
Yeah, and if I'm coaching Malik, I say, listen, if you take that up strong with two hands, it's a foul. You cannot go up with one hand and bring the other hand over. Just take it up and take it straight to the basket. But that is an unbelievable block by Josh Anderson. Shows the athleticism that this kid has.
Rick Stansbury, in our chat with him today after the team shoot-around, emphasized, we have got to play hard. We have got to play with another gear level. There's a steal. Anderson threw that away. Taken back by Ford. Ford on the move. Layup too strong. And Lionel Benton has the rebound. I'm seeing the intensity Coach Stansbury wanted from his Hilltoppers today.
Well, you wonder if St. Mary's is a little bit tired from last night, going driving or flying cross country. But Jordan Ford in that last drive took it 1-on-4. I would like to see him bring it back out. Still moving. Krebs moving to the right. Gotta have position.
First foul, Tanner Krebs. He's one of 19 Australian players, and we have a lot of basketball fans in Australia right now in New Zealand who are streaming on Facebook Watch. We'll figure out what time it is there. Hollingsworth floats and hits. 19 since 2001 from down under have played for St. Mary's. It's quite a pipeline Coach Bennett's got going there.
And they have, like you said, 10 different guys, corners on this team, and they play it different. They're more professional than our high school players coming out because they've played their whole life in that kind of system, and Randy Bennett likes that.
Kuzi foul on the way up, and free throws coming. By the way, it's 7:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Different hemisphere, you know, in Australia.
All right, you go to Belfast.
And we hope we have lots of basketball fans in Australia right now streaming because, hey, 10 international players on this Gale roster facing Coach Stansbury today. So hashtag SMCVSWKU. Post your comments and picks from down under.
I know you go to Belfast. I know you're an international commentator. You don't have to rub it in my face. I did not know it was 7:50 this Sunday morning, but, you know, St. Mary's has not come out of the gate with energy and have not been playing great, yet they're only down 6 points. The officials, I'm not sure what they're going to see, but Coach Bennett is not happy about that. Coach Bennett, love talking to him. He's coached by his dad, Tom, who lives in Arizona. He's very fundamental. Well, I know yesterday in practice, these guys move the ball. They make good decisions. I think what they're saying is whether or not he was shooting it or was passing it. The foul was definitely on Bassey. It's definitely on Bassey.
The debate as they check the video monitor here is a foul on Tavion Hollingsworth or on Charles Bassey.
On 0. I think it has to be on Bassey.
Got to be either Bassey or Hollingsworth, we think. Let's make sure we get that clarified here.
It was on Bassey.
Bassey's first foul. It is ugly holiday sweater, or in your case, sport coat jacket day here at Diddle Arena. Hollingsworth challenging the inbounds pass to Ford. He's got it. And Fitz handles outside the arc. Fitz and Ford have been the offensive stars. 19 combined points. Nobody else has scored for the Gales. Fitz too strong. And a foul call.
Pretty impressed with the Hilltoppers half-court defense. Hollingsworth is getting out in Ford's face, trying to keep him out of the paint. You know, Banton's doing a pretty good job when he's guarding Cozy, the smaller guy. But there's a good reason why St. Mary's is struggling in the half-court.
Steal, Bassey. 6'11" center on the move. Hollingsworth off the glass and in.
Randy Bennett said, we can't let them get live ball turnovers on us because they'll get it down and score, and that's what they did. Hollingsworth now with the last 2 buckets, got 4 in the game.
Cousy trying to respond, too strong. Off the back iron, loose change. Hollingsworth, largest lead of the afternoon for WKU right here.
The Hilltoppers have to get a good shot. You don't need to sit there and look for the 3, but try to get the ball inside to the big fella. Bassey's got to get some touches, especially when you're up by 8.
Here's Bassey, the back end on Hunter, who's been really quiet. Under 10 to shoot. Double team, Hollingsworth. Into the corner. And a 3. Nelson free. Buries a triple. And how about Western Kentucky? Charles Bassey, Wolfie, is a top-level NBA prospect because he does everything. This is not a one-dimensional player.
You know, it's a bad pass, but it was good defense. He's running the break. He gets Hollingsworth the drive to the basket. He gave it up right when you're supposed to. Didn't hold it too long. You know, this is a kid that's going to get better and better. And here you'll see the good ball movement around the horn. Starting with Bassey in the corner. They're doubling up and swarming Bassey in the corner, and then he's taking it all around the basket.
Merrick Nelson hit that last 3 to make it a 30-19 lead, extending the largest lead now to double figures here against St. Mary's. And Conference USA head-to-head with the West Coast Conference. This is a non-con net resume builder for March. And coming up at halftime, a breakdown of Conference USA success in the NCAA tournament the last couple years. Marshall, the tourney winner last season, did some damage in the big dance in 2018. Poll results. Hashtag Dave, not hashtag Steve or hashtag John. Highlight stats analysis from the opening half as well. We have some responses. Hashtag Aussie Hoops. Everyone's getting up and streaming right now, down under.
Well, right now they need some Aussie Hoops because, you know, Hunter, big kid, needs to be scoring 0 for 3. You know, it's really been Fitz and Ford. Malik, Fitz and Ford have scored all 19 points. You're not getting any production from the low block, and you're not getting any production from the outside. I think Tanner Krebs a really good shooter. I think he needs to be one of the guys that knocks a jumper down to get this Gale team back in the game.
Ford almost 6 minutes, playing with 2 fouls. Cousy left alone. Blocked by
shot.
2 players. But Bassey will probably get credit for the rejection. Banton, a lot of bumping. Doesn't matter. Delano Banton right to the basket for 2.
The decision-making for the Gales, getting the ball to the basket, they're not kicking it back out. When you drive and you're going against 6'8" and you're 6'2", you got to throw it back out. Double teaming, got to get better ball movement. This is a guy that's got to get involved in touches each time down the court.
Ford ends the 9-0 run. and hits a three. So he's got 13 points. His team has got 22 in this game. We talked about he and Fitz being the only two who have produced offensively so far for the Gales.
It's offensively they're having problems, but they're also having problems defensively because the Hilltoppers are getting whatever they want.
Bassey couldn't find a handle. Nice overplay, Hunter. Here's Fitz. Taken right back by Anderson. Recovery defense against Josh Anderson. Bam, really tough ball to catch. And it's out of bounds.
That's a great pass. Good defense. Fitz. You've got to be aware. It's almost like you have to be paranoid when you're bringing the ball forward. Everybody's looking for the ball, and you got to have your eye on the basket, but you got to know what's around you. That time, second time, I think Fitz took his eye off of the defender.
He had the feeling in speaking with Randy Bennett yesterday, he was worried about this game. A tough challenge coming all the way from the West Coast, the Bay Area, to here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, flying to Nashville, drive up, long trip, came Thursday night, forward. Can't hit this time. Delano Banton, defensive glass. Here's Anderson, the run out, the hammer for Western.
What you said about Randy Bennett is correct. I mean, the national people know that this is a Hilltopper team on paper that should win Conference USA. They have struggled, but they've also played a heck of a schedule early going, and that's why they're 5-6.
Fitz the rebound. Chance for some free throws here for Fitz off the Elijah Thomas miss.
Talk about the keys to the game. You cannot have transition buckets given up, and there was nobody behind Anderson. Fotu trying to make a run out of him, but there's got to be two guys back, and that time Anderson was behind the defense when the ball went up for the Gales on the offensive end.
Fouls on Savage, partner. That is his second. Here's Fitz. One more free throw for Malik Fitz. Redshirt sophomore, Rancho Cucamonga, California. And a big game against Harvard. Tough loss early for the Gales. 27 points, 13 rebounds. 3 and 4 to the offensive threats for this team. But Hunter has been silent in this game today. 0 for 3 and 2 rebounds for Jordan Hunter.
Now, this is a team, St. Mary's, that struggled early on distributing the basketball. But in the last 6 games, they're averaging 19 assists a game as opposed to 9 in the previous. Right now, they have 2 assists, Rhino. They're not moving the basketball, and they're not making good decisions in the half court.
Bassey, nice post up. He is fouled. No, he's not. It's an offensive foul called on Bassey. And the fans do not like it one bit. Let's see the replay, Steve.
Well, that is an offensive foul. You'll see the off elbow. He's also the restricted areas right there. That
2 on Bassey, Wolfie.
They may be looking at the restricted area. It's really hard to tell from there.
That elbow was up. Let's check it out here. Because elbows can result in flagrant 1 or 2 fouls, possibly. And that could be what the officiating crew here in Bowling Green is looking at right now. And Hunter turned and spun pretty fast. I mean, good acting, maybe. Well, no, you know what?
I'm looking at the restricted area.
On that look,
because
there was some contact there.
Yeah, there was contact there. I don't think it's a 1 or 2. That was inadvertent. You got to be able to turn. The defender's got to be able to turn, or offender's got to let the defender be able to have his space. And I think it's a foul, but it's not a 1 or 2.
Offensive foul and no flagrant 1 or 2.
I'm wondering. Well, I'm trying to get the officials' attention to see, but the crowd does not like the call.
45 seconds. Remaining first half here from Bowling Green. Forward for Krebs. St. Mary's would love a good offensive finish here. Maybe it's Hunter's turn. Watched by Smith. Under 10 to shoot. Ford checks the shot clock. Fans want a Pullman call. Not going to get it. Ford, corner. Tough shot. Rattles out. Tip Hunter. Kept it alive for a moment. And will shoot some free throws.
that last 35 seconds may really be the momentum changer I think that St. Mary's needs. Number one, they got a defensive stock and got the second foul on Bassey. Number two, they got an offensive rebound, and they're getting Hunter a chance to get to the free throw line because he has not scored this whole first half, Dave.
Wow. Maybe his first point. Not yet. Merrick Nelson picked up his second foul for Rick Stansbury a moment ago. 21.9 seconds. Hope you're enjoying our stream. CBS Sports Network on Facebook Watch today. Hashtag SMCVSWKU. Be sure to vote. The ugly sweater contest. Be sure to vote hashtag Dave.
Yeah, if you look at it, the last 21 seconds here, you know, as bad as St. Mary's has played offensively, and the stats don't lie, it's a team that's struggling. There's only 2 people that have scored. They're still in this game. And remember what I said, Rick Stansbury worries about his team getting in that lull and having that lapse. Are they going to come out like they did in the first half against Belmont? Or are they going to come out like they did in the second half against Belmont? Big, big difference.
Send us your photos. Hashtag SMCVSWKU, our stream today. And that's what Coach Stansbury emphasized with us today. We cannot play 25 or 30 minutes against a quality team like the Gales. Great opening half so far. Finally, the first point of the day for Jordan Hunter, the senior center from Australia. Team's third leading scorer, 11 points a game. Gales 3 double-figure scores entering play here today.
Jordan Ford takes a seat, give him a little bit of rest before halftime.
And avoid that third foul. 7 seconds. Here's Hollingsworth. Waystrom fits the rebound. Up court, Krebs. Up and in. And beats the buzzer. Tanner Krebs. Much needed momentum for St. Mary's with a slam at the end of the half. And Wolfie, a game that was dominated by Western with the last 3 points. All of a sudden, we got a ball game here.
Well, the defense is the one that did it. I mean, getting that offensive foul on Bassey, you know, it gives you a little bit of confidence. You go down the other end, you get an offensive rebound, and then finally Hunter gets in the game. And then that's just bad defense by the Hilltoppers.
Rick Stansbury joined by John Schriffen.
Coach, we didn't get an explanation from the officials. I know they spoke to you about that call. What did they say to you?
We on air?
We are on air.
Well, I can't tell you what they said because, hey, don't even matter. So that's just part of the game. Got to move on from it.
Now, it seemed like the momentum shifted a little bit towards the end, but you guys were hot the entire first half, shooting over 60%. How did you guys get off to that hot start?
Well, I don't know if it's hot. I think we're playing really hard defensively. I think the key is you look up there and see they've got 27 points. That's the key to the game.
What adjustments do you need to make now going into the second half?
You know, our adjustments got to come out and see if we can do that for 2 halves. That's been our issues. Can we play for 40 minutes with that kind of energy and toughness? That's our challenge.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half. Guys.
Tripp, thanks. 5-0 run to close the first half for the Gales. And Coach Stansbury shaking his head. He has got his hands full. Ugly holiday sweater day. And halftime here in Bowling Green. Back after a message from Conference USA.
We are stronger together.
We push our teams to excel.
In the classroom,
On the court.
In the community.
together we are committed and uplifting.
Strong and authentic.
We are building the next generation.
A generation with integrity.
And we're doing it our way.
Supporting one another.
Working towards the same vision.
Stronger together.
This is the CUSA way.
The flat path is easy, but for the inspired, there is a spirit that kindles a desire to climb higher, to soar, to roar, to reach new heights. The wish to be a part of something more, to do more and to be more. Hilltoppers know that life at the top is worth the climb. Climb with us at Western Kentucky University.
34-27 game. Streaming CBS Sports Network on Facebook Watch here today. Be sure to talk to us live by using the comments section. Post your photos, videos, and we'll get them on our stream. If you don't want to see the comments throughout your stream on your device, your tablet, your phone, swipe right, swipe left to bring the comments back No secret that Conference USA has had some great upsets, some big March Madness moments over the last several years. Let's revisit some of those great moments. Ones to remember for Conference USA, and I know they're thinking about some more in March of 2019 as well.
Oh, here we go. Enjoy the day. Robert Brown gets loose, takes the jumper. Got it! Morris got it.
There you go. Well done.
Iowa State back on top. Here's Lee over Niang. Got it.
Oh, they're just answering back and forth.
There's the throw.
Just a touch. There you go. That was a good finish, and UAB did everything they needed to do to win this game.
Darnell Harris hits a three. Izzo couldn't call timeout fast enough. Harris for three. Got it. Aaron Harris delivers. And here come Middle Tennessee. Wide to the lane. Give it up. Upshot. Throw down. And the foul. Middle Tennessee, a 15 seed, is going to take down the Michigan State Spartans.
Simpson hits the triple. Now Minnesota takes a timeout. Middle Tennessee ready to be Cinderella again. It's Coffey carrying the load for Minnesota as the Golden Gophers have whittled it down to 7. The Cinderella of a year ago looking grown up in 2017. Westlove, Carter, Williams, Marshall by 6. Inside, Morris hammers it down with a man dunk for Shaq. And then now the open court Burks. A run out. We are Marshall.
What a win that was last year for the Marshall Thundering Herd after winning the Conference USA tournament in 2018. More great memories to come, hopefully, for that conference this year, Wolfie.
Well, I think it's, you know, there's a lot of good teams in it. You look at right now the Hilltoppers and how their tough schedules getting them ready for conference play. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Innovative scheduling, 2018-2019 from Commissioner McLeod for Conference USA. So we have 3 pods, 5, 5, and 4, the 14 teams in Conference USA. And the bottom line is, in the last month of the year, the best teams match up with each other.
Well, and I think what the conferences are trying to do, they've done it in the NFL, trying to make better games out there, but you're also trying to get into the NCAA tournament. Everything these conferences are trying to do is to try to propel them to the next round, get them in the tournament, get more teams in the tournament. And I think that when you are in a league that has some teams that are lower, and as far as strength of schedule and all the metrics, it's like cannibalism. You play those guys, and then you lose points, so to speak. So I think you want to be in a conference that's going to make it easier to get in rather than make it harder.
Has been a while, 2012 since Conference USA had an at-large team, so 2 teams at the 68-team field of the NCAA tournament. Now the West Coast Conference, innovative scheduling. The Big Ten goes from 18 to 20. This year the WCC drops from 18 to 16. So the bottom line is you want those top teams with quality games, and everyone's playing more non-con games.
And once again, you know, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get teams in. I mean, last year it was very, very obvious. St. Mary's with 30 wins, win over Gonzaga, and they don't get in. You know, because maybe they've played some lesser teams in their conference that hurt their RPI back then last year. So they're doing the same thing. With the Big Ten, you know, there's a lot more parity maybe, and so they're able to go get more in conference games than these other conferences.
St. Mary's lost to BYU in the WCC tournament last year. Both Western Kentucky and St. Mary's both went to the NIT and lost to Utah in last year's NIT. They want the big dance, though, in 2019. All right, Facebook poll, Wolfie, which Western Kentucky tournament moment should we feature? You were talking this morning about the first Final Four you remember, 1971.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Jim McDaniels, Clarence Glover, they were so good. Lost to Villanova, I think, with Howard Porter. You know, that's when when John Wooden at UCLA won it all. But that was my pick.
But the winner, 2008, Kentucky. Western Kentucky and Drake head-to-head. Hilltop was part of that classic back in 08 in Tampa against the 5-seed Drake. Took a 9-point lead in the locker room at halftime. The Bulldogs, though, did not go away. Overcame a 16-point deficit. Final 8 minutes of regulation and led 99-98. But Tyrone Brazelton will race across midcourt. And eventually, watch this. He's going to kick it to Tyrone, whose 3 from the wing gave the Toppers their first tournament victory. It's good since 1995. And the concourse here at Diddle Arena, they've got that photo of that release from Rogers immortalized here at Western Kentucky. Pretty cool. Now, which St. Mary's alumnus should we spotlight? Had to be Deli, right? Dellavedova.
Yeah, Cleveland boy. Cleveland Cab, man. He won the NBA championship. So did Patty Mills, though. But you tell you, this is a guy that I like his hair better now than it is back then. But Dellavedova, Randy Bennett has a special place in his heart for this kid. He said one of the best leaders he's ever coached. Was able to will his team to win. And you know, who would have thought that he'd go on to have the NBA career that he had? But you know, he had Patty Mills in there that I thought could have raked up there. But Deli had a heck of a career here.
Number 4 retired in 2014 as well. What do you know about Elf on a Shelf?
What do you think?
How about the Deli? Is it a gnome or it's not a bobblehead? It doesn't move.
No, but it is a gnome. It is a gnome. He was sitting with me last
Traveling.
night.
Gnome. And he works out. It looks like
that's you.
Is that on the extra bike?
What do you think? I like Deli.
I'm a big bobblehead guy, so you know, I'm kind of
pretty good.
Fantastic.
People St. Mary's.
Immortalized at St. Mary's.
That may be going in my luggage.
Gales fans out of Moraga are saying, how do I get one of the Deli gnomes? Pretty cool stuff.
He was one of those guys, you know, the foreign players that came over here and really took this Gales team to another level. You see my buddy Santa Claus.
It is ugly holiday sweater day here at Dill Arena. And the poll, you can participate on our stream here on Facebook Watch. Who has the best ugly holiday sweater? Hashtag Dave. Clearly, it's the answer. Hashtag Dave. Well, or Steve, or hashtag John.
I only have 4 kids. You have
best
6.
blazer tie combination.
You like
and
that?
by the way, these lights are functional.
Well, my daughter.
They all work.
My daughter saw me wearing this, and then
I have a fa-la-la-llama.
Yeah. Well, she saw me walking out with this, and she gave me her lights.
Dave.
Hashtag Steve. I mean, come on. I mean, this is really.
He has a scarf.
You know what's funny?
It's the llama scarf.
Rhino,
you don't get better than that.
People thought I was trying to act like Craig Sagers today, dressed up like this. And I was, no. It's ugly sweater, ugly blazer day.
I got to admit, this is my 22nd year of national TV, or in this case, streaming. And I've never worn an ugly holiday sweater on the air.
Now, I've never worn an ugly holiday sweater.
It's a first time, Steve.
I've never worn one at home, much less on the air. So, but
it's not easy to get from Moraga, Golden State to Bowling Green, Kentucky. The guys from St. Mary's made the best out of it. Here's a look back at their travel for this big matchup here today.
What do you think of Bowling Green, Western Kentucky?
It's quite a vibrant place. Lots of stuff going on, things happening. It's quite amazing, actually. Really enjoy it.
It's a lot colder than California.
It's 5 degrees.
Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Welcome to the blue skies of Western Kentucky and the fountain. It's really beautiful here. Shout out my mom, Jo Hunter.
These fans made the very long trip from California. We should probably tell 10 international players on the St. Mary's roster that unlike Virginia and West Virginia, there's no Western Kentucky. It's not a state. There's a geography lesson.
Well, they did. You heard Hunter say, you know, we're here in Western Kentucky.
We'd be lost in Australia too. Much more coming up here. Halftime, great game. West Coast Conference, Conference USA. Now here's a message from CUSA. Hashtag SMC, VS, WKU, CBS Sports Network on Facebook. Watch first half stats. Wolfie, what do you see here?
Well, when you look at it, I think the points in the paint have been the clear favorite for the Hilltoppers. And shooting the basketball, obviously, if you shoot in the paint, you're going to get a better, higher percentage. Three-point line has been good for Savage. He's a guy who started off early, but clearly the Gales need to get more than 2 people in the scoring column.
Highlights first half, Steve.
Jordan Ford has been terrific, doing it from inside, doing it from outside. But as we talked about, you can't just have one guy. They shot 27 shots. Jordan Ford shot 11 of those. And he's got 13 of those 27 points. So I think it's imperative they get some more offensive production. But I like the way Savage came out in the first half. Savage just knocking down the 3-ball and getting this team going. Hit 7 points in the early going. The scoring has been very well balanced for the Hilltoppers. Good ball movement to get guys open. But at the end of the day, Western Kentucky, I think, came out a little bit more pop in their jump shot and hop in their step.
Ford, fantastic first half with 13. Vince had 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting in the opening 20, and really good balance. No toppers were in double figures, but Savage and Benton had 7 each, and Bassey 5 points on 2 of 3 shooting. So Charles Bassey, first time we've seen the 5-star recruit. Many believe an NBA either top 15 pick or perhaps a lottery pick. What are your impressions of Bassey in person?
Well, I'm impressed with his passing as you see Coach Bennett's coming out on the court, and so St. Mary's. But I really believe they need to get him more touches. He's only got 3 touches, or 3 attempts at the basket. I think he probably should get 7 in each half. They need to get him going to continue this lead.
Coach Stansbury, I'm sure pleased Lawante Bearden able to go and give him some minutes off the bench from the guard spot. One of several point guards this year that the Hilltoppers have used. Trying to settle things down as the new year approaches and Conference USA play not that far off. It's a very big non-conference win possibly for the resume for each. For Coach Bennett, it's a true road game. For Western, it's a quality West Coast Conference team.
And I think what it does, it also gets you going, for your conference schedule coming up.
Oh, we want to know about that, Julie.
Oh, come on.
I say no, because I've been pushing hashtag Dave over hashtag John. So maybe a different category for you.
I think you found that sweater. It was ugly. And
Eric Nelson a miss to begin second half play here.
I think your in-laws brought it in from Alaska. He's out there ice fishing or something, because no way you bring a llama to Western Kentucky.
Hunter, no field goals first half for the Gales. That is clearly got a change in the second. Jump hook on the first touch over Bassey, and a foul call.
Hunter went over his left shoulder, but Bassey's got 2 fouls. You got to find a way to go into Bassey. Make him make a play. This game changes if Bassey gets 3. I'll tell you that right now. Hunter just sort of took a path of least resistance and threw it up over his left shoulder.
Jordan Hunter 0 for 4 from the field. Just 1 free throw, and that came at the tail end of the first half of the Gales. Benton for Savage in the corner for 3.
Savage in double figures, and he starts the second half much like he started the first half. It's a big shot, especially considering St. Mary's scored the last 5 points of the first half.
Hilltoppers first player double figures. And it's Savage with 10. Kids had a great first half. Launches, long 3, rattles it in.
Fitz is guarding Savage. Savage is guarding Fitz. My college coach used to sit there and say, when shots like that happen against each other, you guys have a non-aggression pact. You need to start playing better defense.
drive. Back, finish. Delano Barron to the basket for 2.
The 6'8" point guard just taking it to the basket. There was no resistance from any blue jerseys.
He's from Toronto. Western Kentucky has 3 international players, 10 as we talked about for St. Mary's, one of whom is Hunter with a back end, and another miss. And its struggles continue. Defensive glass for Bassey.
Well, the struggles are continuing as long as Bassey's guarding. Long arms, and you can see Bassey saying, throw the ball up a little bit higher, but
I will dunk it.
I think that St. Mary's has got to continue going down against Bassey, going down low. Keep the getting ball in there, but he's playing very good defense against Hunter.
Hollingsworth, 2-man game with Bassey. Offensive foul, that's number 3 on Charles Bassey.
What good defense by St. Mary's. What happens is they play him man-to-man, but they double down low. See the double down low, both guys helping out. And then Bassey takes it and right smack in Tanner Krebs' face. That's just good double team swarming defense. And Bassey will have to sit down. That's
Rick
2.
Stansbury is not happy.
And 2 of Bassey's fouls are on the offensive end.
He just received a bench warning from the on-court officiating crew here. And he said, I didn't go too far. The officials disagree. And he'll let them hear it up court as well. 3rd foul, Bassey. Replaced by Tolu Smith.
I love Stansbury's aggressiveness right now. As a coach, he's defending his players. He's out there, he's fighting. And his team's playing very, very hard.
Fitz hesitates, hangs, and hits off the glass. Sweet move, Malik Fitz.
That actually was intentional. That was a backboard shot, got up in the air, used the backboard to sort of direct it into the basket. Smart move by Fitz.
Fitz has 16 to lead all scorers in our game today, Wolfie. Ford's been quiet in the second half. Hunter has been silent all game. Hollingsworth hangs, off the glass and in.
Well, Hollingsworth knows that Ford has 2 fouls. Ford's doing a little bit what Bassey was trying to do. Play good defense, but don't foul. That time he was not able to stop Hollingsworth going to the basket.
Ford had stripped and 10 to shoot for St. Mary's. Longest trip of the season, says Michael Milstein. What do you think, Wolfie? Next couple of games leading up to West Coast Conference play, how that affect the Gales?
Let me tell you, talking to Jordan Hunter last night, he was telling me, hey, we couldn't sleep when we got to town. You know, they were here on Thursday in the afternoon, and then they didn't practice again until 6 o'clock last night with 2-hour time difference. It does affect you, but you know, these are college kids. This isn't, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they drove everywhere, so they shouldn't have any problems rebounding. And right now, the way they're playing here in the second half, I think they're starting to get their sea legs again. I like these questions where there's not specific answers why I get graded. You know, I don't get A or B on that.
It's a great question from Michael Milstein.
I like it.
One of our top fans. San Jose State is next for the Gales, by the way, at home in Moraga. Foul called.
We're going to call a hook on that. No basket. They're going to call it before the shot, so it'll be an out-of-bounds foul. And they fouled him. He held him, basically held him on the wrist.
Jordan Hunter picks up his first, and Rick Stansbury is still chatting about that charge call against Charles Bassey. Aggressively counseling the officials, is that a good way to describe it? Conference USA on Facebook Watch. Next 3 games. WKU in Huntington, West Virginia against Marshall. Middle, we saw them on Facebook Watch last night in Nashville against Ole Miss of the SEC. They'll be right back here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and then Middle Tennessee will play at Marshall as well. Those are Conference USA Facebook Watch streams coming up. For more on Western, let's go back to Schrift.
Thank you so much. Western Kentucky is honoring their 100th season of Hilltopper basketball all season throughout this 2018-2019 campaign. In its previous 99 seasons, check out some of these stats that WKU has racked up. An all-time record of 1,775 wins versus just 912 losses. They rank 17th in NCAA history in all-time wins, 8th in winning percentage, 3rd in regular season championships, and 7th in 20-win seasons. Now, the school also put together a 15-player all-century squad. The prestigious list comprised of some of the best to ever compete on the hardwood for the Hilltoppers, led by head coach E.A. Diddle, and some of the players that the captains of the WKU All-Century team, guard Courtney Lee and center Jim McDaniels. Guys.
Triffier Diddle was coach here for 41 years. I mean, both of you coached that long, you deserve to have the arena named after you. What a legend here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and they've had some tremendous teams.
Yeah, you look at the rafters. This is a beautiful facility. Updated in 2002. They got the new scoreboards in. And that 71 game was something special. That 71 season. Jim McDaniels, unfortunately, lost him last year. He had some kidney disorder, but, you know, saw Kennard Johnson, Cincinnati kid, who had a great career from 84 to 87. Western Kentucky loved their basketball in Kentucky, I'll tell you that.
General season tickets were sold out preseason here. First time that's happened in many years. A lot of excitement in Bowling Green for Topper basketball. 5 to shoot. Tolu Smith the back in on Hunter. Kicks out. Almost another bank shot there for Delano Banton.
That was a really good half-court defensive possession for the Gales. Now they need to pick it up on the offensive end, but keeping everybody in front of them and making them take a long shot at the end of the shot clock is a win.
Fitz. Offensive foul. 2 fouls now on Malik Fitz. And Merrick Nelson, a sophomore from Plano, Texas in the Metroplex. Good D.
It's really good defense. You know, a little acting at the end, but he did get hit, and he had a push-off. He was right there. Good footwork to be able to make sure he was right in front of Fitz. See, Bantam, I'm impressed with this freshman. 6 assists in this game, playing point guard. Big fellow, moves the ball really well on the perimeter.
All about Smith, the fake, the 2. Tolu Smith, a freshman who played his high school hoops. We talked about Hawaii last year. Tolu means 3 in Samoa. There's 2 for Ford as he drives in and scores. First time in the second half for St. Mary's.
Ford's been a little quiet the last 7-8 minutes. Got to get these guys going, get some ball movement, see if we can get Hunter involved in that offense. He is still has no field goals.
Hunter the rebound. Ford knifing through traffic. Ford and Fitz will fear 13 of 20 from the field. Fitz with a handle here to the basket for 2. 14 of 21 now. Rest of the team is 1 for 13. So Fitz and Ford, they've been the offensive stars for the Gales today. Cut it to 5. Anderson to take and a 2.
Both teams taking it right to the heart of the defense. And on the Gales, you know, you got Smith in the lane. He's a big guy, but he's still not Bassey. The Gales are taking it to the defensive inside. I'm going to call that on Hollingsworth. You see right now, a good head fake. The problem is right there, they could have gotten the push off with the left arm, and that could have been an offensive foul. They did not call it because they felt like Hollingsworth was moving, but still. That's a 50-50 call as far as I'm concerned.
Vincent Ford, 35 of the team's 38 points. That's hard to believe. Rejected by Smith. Dan Fotu's attempt sent into the 5th row. Tolu Smith, the freshman big, says no.
And that was a good take, too, by Fotu. And now there's 2 seconds on the shot clock, so it'll be interesting There's enough time to get a shot up, but you got to set a pick to get somebody open.
2 to shoot. Ford behind the basket. That almost went in. He regains with a baseline block. 6th block of the game today for Western. Anderson, too strong. Hollingsworth for 2.
How about Hollingsworth, the littlest guy for the Hilltoppers, in the lane and getting an offensive rebound and the stick back.
Trent, an answer.
That's a guy that has to get some offense going. He, 2 years ago, had a wonderful NCAA tournament, played great, shot the ball well. Got to get in his rhythm and get some outside jump shots going.
Benton hangs and hits. Alano Benton, double figures.
This is a really solid freshman class that Rick Stansbury has coming in here. Obviously, the sophomore class is his first class that he recruited, and they're very good. Very young team.
Look out below. Jordan Hunter finally has his first field goal of the game. 2-man game with Jordan Ford. Elevates and hammers. Tolu Smith with a left foul.
Rick Stansbury still having a heated discussion, but I think he's got this crowd back in the game.
John Triffin joined by a special guest.
Oh, this is a very special guest. This is Big Red, one of the most well-known mascots in all of college basketball, turning 39 years old this year. Big Red, show me your special move. Oh, yeah, that's the belly shake. That's why fans love Big Red so much. Now, if you're wondering what is Big Red, well, really a big, fuzzy red blob. That's it. There's nothing more to it. But we want to know, who is your favorite mascot around the country? Is it Big Red here at Western Kentucky? Is it Syracuse's Otto the Orange? Is it Notre Dame's Leprechaun? Or is it the Stanford Tree? Now, don't forget, in order to vote in this poll, you have to comment in the comment section using the hashtag, either hashtag Big Red, hashtag Otto, hashtag ND, or hashtag Tree. Guys, back over to you.
Well, clearly, Striff, it's hashtag Otto. I mean, any self-respecting Syracuse grad is going to recommend hashtag Otto.
I think it's hashtag Musketeer. I think that's what it should be.
It's not on the list.
I know.
Either of you.
A write-in candidate.
Your alma maters, North Carolina State or Xavier, are not up there. Hashtag Otto. But Big Red, that's awesome. And you know very well that mascots cannot speak, right? So Schriff had to just get the dance moves.
Jason, I bought my suit. I think I got it at Kohl's online.
Online, you say?
I think it was yeah.
You gonna keep it?
Well, it came with
Where'd
this
you
tie.
get the lights? I want to get the lights.
I got it from my daughter Stevie,
Okay.
but I'll tell you what, this tie is like, if I tied it the right way, it would be like here. Okay, the coat, a little bit tight.
It's an incredible
Don't iron it, it's all polyester. Pants don't fit. Hey, it's ugly.
Smith foul before the break. Tolu Smith, one more free throw.
How about Tolu Smith coming in, relieving Bassey, had a couple blocks. He's been efficient in the half-court offense, rebounding the basketball. And what he's done with those blocks is he's putting that in their mind when the Gales drive in the lane that there's somebody in there that's got a long wingspan that can swat those balls away.
Jock Perry into the game first time. Big man for St. Mary's. Watched by Smith.
Well, Smith's way out on the perimeter with him.
6'10", Melbourne, Australia. Spin move, block.
Good hustle by Krebs. That shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation.
And credit the half-court defense by the Hilltoppers. Rick Stansbury told John at halftime, hey, our defense is playing well. There's only 27 points at half. He's wide open. All he had to do was shoot that jump shot, not aware of the shot clock. Very good half-court defense.
Off-ball foul on Western Kentucky.
Get that foul on Tolu Smith. Now, and unfortunately, that's the problem. You can't have two guys, putting up all the numbers. And I think Tanner Krebs has got to contribute. I think he's a guy that has to hit a couple shots. They're going to get Banham with the hand. No, it's not. They're going to get Nelson with a hand on the back of Fitz.
Merrick Nelson, Wolfie, that's his third foul.
He had his hand on his back.
Bassey's back in with 3 fouls for Western Kentucky.
This is a kid who had a 3.8 grade point average in high school. He's a smart kid. That's a walk.
Fitz settles right back to the Hilltoppers.
It's interesting that the Bassey's a freshman. Rick Stansbury has the confidence to put him in, still with half of the second half to go. More than half of the second half to go. See if he can stay out of foul trouble.
We got an official timeout.
A little water on the floor.
Yeah, a little sweat on the hardwood here.
That just gives Rick another chance to go over and talk to him about the play with the referee. Antonio went on the towel. Antonio went on it's Antonio Perry. Slip sliding away over there. Coach Stansbury's really got Bowling Green, Kentucky excited about basketball. This is, as we've talked about before, historically, Western Kentucky men's and women's basketball, very, very good.
Hollingsworth steps back and hits. 2-pointer taking on Hollingsworth. Lead at 10 here for the Hilltoppers on their home court. Krebs corner, that was out. Bassey a hand on it. Taken back by Thomas. Fitz baseline, broken up. Fitz has 5 turnovers today.
And most of them are live. Gotta make sure, take care of that basketball.
Can't get a roll of the paint.
Little push in the back.
Jock Perry is going to pick up his first foul for the Gales.
Hollingsworth is a kid that, is known as a scorer, and he's been very efficient in this game, taking the nice little step back. He's only got 7 shots attempt, but he's 5 for 7. He's it's nice that Banton and Savage are able to contribute early, so it takes the pressure off Hollingsworth.
Well, Rick Stansbury told us Hollingsworth last year just a small piece with a lot of fifth-year seniors. Now he's the man. Got to be a leader, and he's got to produce, and he's doing that today. Great on-court leadership, good decision, then scoring 2.
Well, there's really nobody quick enough on the perimeter that's on the court right now to keep him in front. So they guard him, he drives in the lane, they back off, and he shoots a 3.
Delano Banton picks up the foul.
I think that Rick Stansbury's found his guy at the point. Banton with 11 points. He has 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Does have 3 turnovers, but he has played very good on the perimeter.
Fitz spins and gets a roll. Malik Fitz that was. Sweet in the paint.
He plays a little bit like his Barkley. He's a big, strong body. He gets into the paint and manufactures shots. I thought Fotu could be that kind of guy too. We haven't seen much out of him here in this game. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end.
On cue, Fotu, native of New Zealand, had the rebound on the Bassey miss. Forward. Hangs. Back iron, can't hit. Toppers on the move. Anderson to the basket. Blocking foul.
Anderson,
he's an athlete.
He gets it out in the break, but you got to give all this credit to Bassey at the other end. He gets the ball out quick to Hollingsworth. And then Krebs, if he stands there, it's an offensive foul, but I think he saw Josh Anderson's size 11 going right at his face, and he moved out of the way.
Former top 60 national high school recruit Josh Anderson shoots 2 here. Began the year as the point guard. As Rick Stansbury told us after the Hilltopper shoot around, he wasn't sure. He was checking with his media relations guy. How many point guards have we had this year? 4 or 5 back and forth? Hollingsworth has had that role. Bearden, after the academic suspension, has tried. They're getting the pieces to fit together. But this is a good step in the right direction if they win here today.
Oh, it's really hard when you bring so many new players in. You look at their class, they have 1 senior. Bearden is a senior, and that's it. So you really top-heavy in the freshman and sophomore class, and that's a good thing down the road, but it's tough to get chemistry and fluidity with these guys.
He said we're new. We're brand new this year. And you got the feeling from the coach he's going to be very patient.
He loves these guys.
Long range shot. Jordan Ford, the 3.
You know, as soon as you see that Western Kentucky's going away,
Hunter recovers. And the rejection in transition.
The Gales are fighting back. There's no quitting these guys.
Cruzy almost walked. Fans wanted to trap him. Will not get one. Fotu corner. It's a long-range shot. It's a 3 for Dan Fotu, his first points of the day. And here come the Gales, a 5-point game.
Well, Fotu and Krebs have stepped it up here in the last little bit. They need to. It can't just be Fitz and Ford. Get the ball inside. The big guy wants the ball.
Bent way off. An air ball strong. Weak side rebound for Fitz. Ford sets up. Cousy. Well, I missed. Would have been a big 3 for the visitors from California. That's out of bounds.
That's really not Cozy's shot. Cozy's not a great 3-point shooter. You know, he'd be better off getting dribble drive and trying to get the ball in to Hunter. With Banton getting a little bit from Rick Stansbury over there. That was not a great shot.
A run for the Gales, Steve. Defense creating some offense.
Well, they get it out. That's Hunter with the block, and then there's Ford with a 3 ball, knocks it down. Fotu also getting involved, but it's so important to make sure that you move the ball around. It's very important. Yeah, see Jason asking. I do agree, but there's no scoring from Cousy. Cousy is a facilitator, but they're not facilitating. They can't get the ball in the lane because when you facilitate in the lane, Bantam swatted it back. So what Randy Bennett is trying to do is getting some offense in there. And you saw that time when Cousy shot that outside jump shot. That was not his shot. And that is not what Randy Bennett wants. He needs Krebs in there knocking down the jump shot, and he needs Fotu too.
Fitz 22 points today, Wolfie. His career best 29 came as a member at South Florida in the American Conference against Memphis a couple years back. He's a Gale now, getting it done.
Yeah, Fitz is, like I said, he reminds me of Charles Barkley. He's got very good moves. He uses the backboard. He uses everything he can take inside. But, you know, well, the
Fitz team's second leading scorer, 14 again.
To Jason's message on that, you know, you got to have somebody that can shoot, because what Western Kentucky is doing is packing it in. You wonder why Hunter can't get a shot. They're letting Cousy shoot it. And I like Cousy, what he's brought to this team in the last 6 games. But right now, they need some offense on the perimeter.
Bassett, the catch. Blocked from behind. Nice collapsing defense on Bassett. He's had a frustrating day. Only 5 points, 2 of 5 shooting for the 6'11" phenom freshman here at Western.
I'd go back to Fotu, the Krebs, Ford. Those are the 3 guys to see if they can get something going from the perimeter.
A scoop to the hoop. Tough shot, Jordan Ford. Hollingsworth lobbing down low. Savage can't finish. Out of bounds. got it.
And you see Hollingsworth throwing it up. They're showing it on the live cam. He takes it up and lays it in. It's a three-point play. Got to go back inside the basket. You have to get your big guy involved in the game. Hunter's been playing really well defensively.
8 to shoot here, Wolfie for Savage. Taken away. Coach to the steal.
Give it back to
Fitz. Tough shot. And free throws from Malik Fitz on the way.
Defensively, what's going on right now? St. Mary's is collapsing when the ball goes inside. But right now, the ball's not going inside. So they're able to be perimeter on it. So watch, everybody's perimeter. It's one-on-one, and then Savage gives up the ball. Fitz goes down the other end. Now he's an opportunity for two. You got to keep the defense thinking. Getting the ball inside the basket is so important. He's a good passer too, Brian. Get it into him and then kick it back out.
5 for 5 from the free throw line today. Fitz and company, an 8-0 run.
One-possession game.
And a one-possession game here. CBS Sports Network on Facebook. Watch. Savage turns and scores. Jared Savage, a tough, contested fall-away jumper.
Well, you can see why it's frustrating to Rick Stansberry because he knows how good this team is. But they do get in those little walls where they can't score. Savage took a little of the ice off the rim.
Fits the backhand. The challenge. Too strong. He'll try again. The pump fake. Over Bassey. Can't hit. And a freshman center defensive glass for Western.
Reward the guy. Get it back inside to the big fella. He's playing hard on the defensive end. You got one guy shadowing him, but a good pass will get him open.
Right on cue. Fitz broke it up, almost went to the basket there. That's out of bounds. And the Hilltoppers have it with 7 to shoot on this possession.
They'll use Bassey out of bounds underneath the basket. You know, they'll try to get him open. We're going to have a timeout here, I think.
Bassey 5 points and 7 rebounds so far. Rick Stansberry told us when we asked him about Charles Bassey today, he said, you can have 100 stars next to your name as a high school recruit, and he's one of the top players that has ever come to Western Kentucky, but he's still got to develop. It's step by step, especially understanding situations. Defenses can change quickly, and you've got to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
And he said he's a humble kid, smart kid, humble kid. And the best part about Charles Bassey is that every game he seems to get better and better and better. He's played against very good talent this year, 4 top centers, and opened up the season 11 points, 12 rebounds at Washington. Really a stud player.
You know who I'm rooting for here. The best mascot poll results are in. Who is it? Is it Otto the Orange? Hashtag, oh, what? 0%?
Not this one.
0%?
Zero.
Oh, it's
0.
There are a lot of WKU fans voting.
0.0% there.
At least my mascot made the poll.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Syracuse and Animal House. They got one thing in common.
That's a tough one.
0.0%.
Double secret probation. We could do Animal House references all day.
Yeah.
Here we've got a ball game in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 58-53. Big Red's got to be pleased because it's the top mascot. And I love the hat as well.
Now, Tavion Hollingsworth has played within himself. You heard what Rick Stansberry said to me this afternoon. Play within yourself. Be yourself. And that's what Tavion Hollingsworth's doing. Very smart, efficient. Only taken 9 shots. 6 for 9 for 12 points.
Anderson, 3 to shoot. In! Carr hits up great. His first triple of the day. And those are momentum creators beating the shot clock buzzer.
Huge shot. Huge shot for Josh Anderson. I think he's been playing very smart here.
Jordan to Jordan. Hunter had it stolen by Anderson. And he kept it alive in the corner. Two-man game. Anderson to the basket! With the hammer slam! Josh Anderson, look out below! Whoa! Tanner grabs the crowd quieting three, sort of. This place is still rocking after Anderson elevates and hammers for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, it only counts as two, but it was a strong two. And
there's another take, another two. He stays hot.
This is what Rick Stansbury wanted to see out of Josh Anderson from the start of the year. He's now playing in his own position. He's not playing point guard.
Hunter misses a layup. Hollingsworth and the Toppers are on the run. Tavion Hollingsworth. Short. Go to. Rebound. Forward. Quick run on himself. Krebs. And finish reverse layup.
Anderson came over and changed it. You know what he was going to do. Anderson flying high went over to block the shot. Krebs had to go underneath the basket.
Hashtag dunk contest winner. I mean, Wolfie, that was a flying, leaping slam.
And Krebs can get up. He challenged him, and Anderson went up and over. That's a little surprising. Boom.
He impressed himself. I love that reaction.
I love that camera on top. The dunk cam is beautiful.
Season best 16 for Josh Anderson, sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And sixth time this year, 14th in his career in the double figures. Also had 16 against Belmont in a loss up in Nashville on Wednesday. Hey, there are the guys. A great production crew. Ugly sweater day at Western Kentucky.
Matzo balls, I love it.
Way to go, Mike Milstein. That was fantastic. Our great crew and Matt Horton, WKU Jr., participating as well. The Flamingos are absolutely fantastic. Everybody's involved, but that's not a sweater either.
Yeah, hey, semantics.
It's great. Love the tie.
I do love it. Oh, I like that tie.
That tie is solid. All right, are we ready for the results? Who has the best sweater of the day? Hashtag Dave. Hashtag Steve.
But Dennis can manipulate those numbers.
John. Who is it? Yes!
Oh,
yes!
Yeah, you work too hard.
Yes! Hashtag Dave. 53%. Woo! Yeah! Here's the reaction, slow-mo. It is, in fact, the ugliest sweater of the day. Va la 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 llama. Thanks to Bill Fair. That was his line, our great producer. Bill Handy, Mike Milstein, Mike Pittman, our great producer.
You know what? It's a llama. You look good. You didn't win the mascot, but you won this.
He's got the hat and the scarf.
Yeah, you won this.
When I first saw it, I thought it might have been a goat, but it in fact is a llama. Not an alpaca. Llama. Thank you for those who voted. I hope those in Melbourne, Florida, watching right now, the Team Ryan family have all voted for Dave. Anderson spins and scores.
Anderson's on fire. I mean, he is just playing very well, getting into the lane, really athletic, and there's nobody that's able to stop him.
Bassey to block. The run out for Hollingsworth. Charles Bassey is a weapon. Watch out, Conference USA.
Well, now you got to be wary of score and the clock. You know, you don't want to turn the ball over. You want to get good shots. You want to run the shot clock down.
Ford, really tough reverse layup and a finish with a left for a spectacular Jordan Ford.
That was a terrible possession offensively for the Hilltoppers. You turn the ball over without getting a shot, and then you go down the other end, and Ford is able to take it to the basket.
He's got 20, averages almost 23, second best West Coast Conference entering play today, as we talked about. Under 3 left in regulation. Savage. Anderson on a hot streak. Foul.
I bailed out on that one. I really think that this is the time to let the big guy touch the basketball. You know, he's such a good passer. And everybody's dropping down to level the ball, and he's able to throw it back out to get open shots. Anderson having a career day. Eight for 11 from the field, Rhino. He's a guy that's getting it done.
Fitz third foul. And 1-on-1 here for Anderson, who has had quite a day. Misses the front end. Hang on a minute. Fitz the rebound. When the ball's in this guy's hand, anything can happen for St. Mary's.
And there's a lot of time, Dave. I mean, there's no reason to rush, but you got to get a good shot if you're St. Mary's. You know, and I think that try to get Krebs open for a three or take it off the dribble drive.
Here's Fitz in the corner. High arcing three. Too strong. And Savage the rebound. Defensively for Western Kentucky. Heading down to 2 to go in regulation. Non-conference. These days, it's all about quality opponents. And then not only scheduling, but beating them. And that's what Western Kentucky has in mind today. 3 to shoot. Savage, tough follow-away jumper way off. That becomes a shot clock violation. Missed the rim.
And Rhino, that's okay. I mean, it wasn't a great shot, but you did run some clock off there. You know, you just can't come down and turn it over in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. But right now, St. Mary's, lots of time, but you have to be cognizant of who you're throwing the ball to and where. Now they got Krebs down the corner, where I think you can get him open. They have Fitz on the wing.
Kick out. Krebs thinking about a three. Instead drives it and lost the ball.
He was open for the three. There's no reason why you don't shoot it. It's good defense.
Anderson stripped it away.
It's his third steal of the game.
Man, he's the MVP in my mind. Fantastic today off the Hilltopper bench.
So you win the ugliest sweater, and now you get the pick, huh? You get to pick the MVP?
Well, I lost that in Honor the Orange. That was a tough one. 0.00. Hollingsworth, wild shot. Actually hit the side of the rim. Fitz, rebound, run out, foul. Now with 56.6 seconds left in regulation, Fitz will shoot 2.
Now, I think that St. Mary's has turned the ball over, and they've given up fast break points. That hasn't been their problem. Their offense has been the problem. But I'll tell you, for Western Kentucky, 12 assists. They had like 2 with like 8 minutes to go in the first half. They've done a good job of moving the basketball. They've also got other guys involved, which I think is important. And it also helps if Anderson comes out and plays like he did.
What a weapon. .25 for Fitz, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Had a fantastic day for the Gales. Entered the weekend as the 13th leading scorer in the West Coast Conference.
So the Hilltoppers shoot the free throws at about 73%. So St. Mary's is going to have to foul. And they're going to have to foul pretty quickly. So the ball gets in. What you want to do is get one pass. If they get one pass, you foul.
A lot of time here, Wolfie. A lot of time.
But you have to be smart with it. And you don't need to get a 3 when you come down. It's a 3-possession game. You got time. Uh-oh.
Passing.
Fouling. Got a fouling.
Was fouled by Jordan Hunter before the pass.
It's a smart move, taking the ball out of bounds. Throwing it up over top to Bassey. Tucker Clack, if I'm one of those SMC players and I see Anderson jump like that, I can yell him away. Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. Thanks, Tucker. We appreciate that comment. Wow, I mean, that was a sore and stuff for Josh Anderson. What an athlete. For Rick Stansbury. So Bassey at the free throw line, the foul on Hunter a moment ago. .3% from the line entering play today. Misses the front end. Hang on a second. There's Jordan Ford. Crossover. Free again. Over Bassey and in. What a move.
Quick timeout.
Not a timeout call.
Boy, Ford, smart. You know who's waiting back there. It's like an alligator in a pond when you're a golfer. Comes in there, oh, there's that alligator, up and over. It's a great play by Ford. 2-possession game. Right now, St. Mary's is saying, listen, we're going to come out. Got to foul immediately. Can't let any more time run off that clock.
Our game reset. Possession to St. Mary's. The Hilltoppers about to inbound here. Ford, another big game. 22 points. Fitz has led the way for the Gales with 26. So Ford in 5 of the last 6 games for the Gales, 20-plus points.
So what Randy Bennett's doing and what Rick Stansbury's doing, they're calling a couple plays. So listen, we're going to foul here if we can't get the steal. We're going to go down there. They're going to miss their free throws. We got to come down. We don't need a 3, just get a 2. That's the kind of stuff they're saying. For Stansbury, he's saying, go up with 2 hands and grab the ball. You always have an outlet with Bassey over the top because Ford's guarding him and he's a little guy. But get the ball in bounds, move it. Move the ball, don't let it stick, and don't turn it over.
Bad inbound. Go 2. Face guards him. Whoa, there's some contact. Thomas and Hollingsworth. That was a very aggressive foul by Elijah Thomas of St. Mary's.
Well, you know what? It looked worse than it was. He tried to hold him up. That was not a dirty play at all. He went over to grab Hollingsworth. So watch, you'll see.
Officials are going to take a second look.
But it's,
here's Steve.
He went over and actually tried to pull him up, and it looked like he was trying to push him down even worse. But watch Thomas. As soon as Hollingsworth gets the ball, Thomas is already running. And so what he does is he grabs him, and Hollingsworth goes down. But you see how fast Thomas is running? No way you're going to stop, and he did not hit him with his body. And he went over to help him back up, actually. That's a good foul. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, he's going for the ball. That's another thing. Reaching for the ball.
All 3 officials will take a look at the video monitor. See if it warrants anything more than a common foul. Definition of the F1, F2 fouls. Flagrant 2 is the ejection. And that happened to Josh Anderson at Arkansas a couple games back for the Hilltoppers in the second half. Steve Wolf thinks common foul.
I think it's definitely a common foul.
I agree. Common foul is my opinion. Let's see if the officials agree with that.
Well, it's a physical game, Rhino. You got to go after the ball. When you're running, he was running full speed to go over and get it, and he put his arm around him, but he was also trying to tip the ball away. I can't see it being anything other than a common foul.
Western, Wolfie, is only 3 for 6 from the free throw line today. That's it. 50%, obviously. Season low. Entering play today having 62% as a team, single game from the free throw line. So here comes the debate on whether or not it's a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2 or a common foul. Let's find out.
It's been such a great game. I hope it's not a flagrant.
Let's get the call here.
Excessive foul, we're going to F1. Flagrant F1, excessive contact.
Flagrant 1 foul is the call.
I love my guys. I love the guys in the stripes, but I do not agree with that. I think that in a game like this, you're going out, you got to go for the ball.
So as we saw, everyone's going to be cleared off the line. Hollingsworth will shoot a couple free throws and the ball. That's a huge call on Elijah Thomas when all that was necessary was just a bump. You don't want to take a chance like that, Steve. I mean,
I agree with you.
Situation, I didn't think it warranted the F1. Officials disagree. Hollingsworth does one more free throw and possession.
It's still a 2-possession game, so this free throw is important. But then again, Hollingsworth, the Hilltoppers are going to get the ball out of bounds too, so it's a double whammy.
First 2 free throw attempts of the day successful for Tavion Hollingsworth.
Tell you what, Hollingsworth, I'm really impressed with how he played under control. Because when I've seen other games, they need help scoring, and so he does almost everything. Today, he had help from Savage, who started off hitting that jump shot, which was big. It took a lot of pressure off after they were 3 for 15 against Belmont. He hit his first jump shot. Anderson coming in, giving effort off the bench. You always have Bassey, but Bassey didn't really have to do much today. He 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting. He only had 5 attempts.
Sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky. 3 for 3 from the line today.
I think Rick Stansberry would be happy if Bassey only had to have 5 points and beat a team like St. Mary's. It's so as good as they are.
15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Make it 16. Tavion Hollingsworth, 4 big dagger free throws. Down the stretch here, a lot of time to go here for Coach Stansberry. And the Hilltoppers trying to close out St. Mary's, up 9. Though this guy handling the rock, anything's possible. Ford again, crossover, and again lays it in.
And they're running out of time. Get the foul quick.
Quinn Clinton, freshman guard from New Zealand, is into the game first time for some foul for Randy Bennett. Common foul, says Braden Scott. Braden, we agree with you.
I agree.
Thanks for the comment.
I can see where it was excessive in their eyes. The referees want to keep it under control, but it's a physical game. I think Thomas could have gone out about it a little different, but he had a full head steam going. It's hard to stop. I'll tell you, these free throws are could come back to haunt the Hilltoppers, because St. Mary's has been efficient scoring quickly as the clock runs down here. Still 34 seconds left.
Bet misses 2. Hang on. 30 seconds. Here's Ford. Hesitates. The basket again. Lays it in one more time.
So now you got a 2-possession game. And you only lose about 8 seconds on that. That's just
almost a steal for Fitz out of bounds. It is. Gales basketball. Malik Fitz, tremendous effort. Out of bounds off the Hilltoppers. 22 seconds left in regulation. 5-point game. Here come the Gales.
Well, the Hilltoppers are playing around in the Gales' end on the offensive end. Throw it deep. Get it out of it.
Ford, 20 seconds to the basket again. Lays it in one more time.
And that's the last time out for St. Mary's.
Out St. Mary's.
Boy, Rick Stansberry is upset. And you'll see right here, trying to play defense without the foul. They didn't review that, but I think it was off Banton.
It was close.
But nobody's stepping up. Hey, at least foul. You don't want let St. Mary's go straight to the basket. That's 2 straight times. But Jordan Ford looks like he's just under control, like he's playing in the backyard. Very calm and cool and collected. I think I would have been looking to shoot that 3 on that last time, but he drove it to the basket.
28 points for Ford in this game. 6 points scored in the last 18 seconds. And our game reset with 18.3 to go in regulation. Ford is electrifying. What a talent for St. Mary's.
And what happened that last 3 plays, they took Bassey out of the game on the free throw by Hollings. I think it was by Savage. They took Bassey out of the game. So they didn't have a big defender down there. They wanted their ball handlers. So Jordan Ford was able to take it straight to the basket. Just think what happened if this wasn't called a flagrant foul.
4 points.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Elijah Thomas, the bump on Hollingsworth. The flagrant 1 foul called by the on-court officiating crew. Here we go again. Banton inbound. Savage trouble to handle initially. In the corner, some trouble. Turned over.
Looking for the foul.
Incredible.
You run the baseline. You get the ball into Savage. Savage is waiting for the foul. He didn't do it. That was no foul there. You can't wait for a foul. The whole end of the other end of the court, 3/4 of the court is open.
And Jared Savage has lost a contact lens, so he'll need some help from the trainers here, which provides an injury timeout. And that's a huge break for St. Mary's because they're out of timeouts here in the second half. They've got one now. And the ball with a chance to tie. 14.7 seconds. You shoot a three, what do you do right now?
So here's the deal. And this is a hard one because, you know, people want to go ahead and shoot the three to tie the game. I still think you have time to go ahead and get a two, the way Jordan Ford has taken it, but now realize that Bassey's back in the game. And he's one of the best shot blockers in the country. So I think you take what the defense gives you, but do not look just for the three. And if I'm Jordan Ford, I have everybody come at me. I throw it off to Krebs for a three or get it to Fitz for a drive. The one thing you don't want to do if you're St. Mary's is foul the jump shooter.
Want to come back for the Gales. And pressure defense on the inbounds, back-to-back times. Real struggles to step up and get the ball out of the backcourt and create a foul situation. Where is Hollingsworth? Where is a Western player to help out and get it out of a top spot? Top three-point shooters for the Gales.
And let's see, they're all in the game, too.
Standing the crowd here at Diddle Arena. Ford, 13 seconds. Jordan Ford to the basket. Lobs it up. Can't hit. Loose down low. Fitz tries again. Blocked by Bassey. Krebs corner. Misses a three. And it's over in Bowling Green. Western Kentucky hangs on. Beats the Gales by 3. What a finish.
On that last possession, Rhino, they were going for the two. Jordan Ford was sitting outside on the perimeter wide open for all three of the shots. I mean, Tanner Krebs had a good look at it. They just couldn't put that one down. You look over in the corner, you see two guys open as Ford takes it in and misses it. But now look at Ford get over on this side, right there on the corner. See him over in the corner, wide open, nobody guarding him. You got Thomas at the top, nobody guarding him. And they take the three, and no go. What a great game.
Krebs almost hit that. Wolfe in the corner. Bassey with another block. And Western Kentucky and Coach Stansbury as a team, 9 rejections, a team best for the season. And they hang on to beat the spectacular Jordan Ford. And St. Mary's by 3. What a finish here today. John Schriffen joined by some winning Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Getting everybody set there. Schriff, go ahead.
Coach, you said that was going to be a game of 2 halves. How do you feel like your team closed out that game?
Well, closed it out good. We got the W. So there were some mistakes. We missed 2 1-on-1s down the stretch. We wouldn't have had that excitement at the end. But the one thing we had for 40 minutes that we have to have, we played with great effort and toughness. When we do that, we got a chance.
Now, St. Mary's had a chance to tie it on that last play of the game. What did you tell your team going into that last play?
Well, 14 seconds going, under 8 seconds, we're going to foul. But they had a broken play. They missed the first shot, and it was a scramble, and we didn't foul. That's okay, because it was about 2 seconds there, and it would have been a tough foul.
The play of the game came from Josh Anderson. Basically just dunked on another guy. From your perspective.
My perspective, I'm going to tell you this. There's no question, Josh had an unbelievable game. But I'm going to go back to the head of the snake. Tavion Garden Ford. That was the head of the snake. That fed off everything. He scores some points, but he really never took that game over like he's capable of.
Coach, appreciate that. Really great win. Let's bring in Tavion on that note. The defensive effort on Ford, what was that matchup like for you all night?
You know, it was competitive. You know, I knew he was a good player. I knew what he could do, so I just wanted to see if I could do it.
There was a moment in the game, about like 8 minutes left in the game. They got it within 5, and then you guys went on a little run of your own. What was said in the timeout? How did you guys pull away to get that little distance there?
Keep playing hard, you know, keep playing like we was playing. We didn't want to get the ball to stick to one person, so we started to get going a little bit more.
Great game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Josh Anderson, Mr. Highlight Reel. That was crazy. That was crazy. Okay. Break that play down from when you got the ball right over here to when you yammed it on him. Tell me what happened.
I seen the defender. He was kind of bagging up. You know, we had Charles on the post, so I seen, like, you know, the rim was open, so I just took it in.
I just took it in. Come on. That's it? That's all you did?
That's it.
Do you know what your vertical leap is?
No, sir, I don't. I haven't taken it in a while. I took it in, like, 9th grade, but I think I forgot what it was.
Fans on Facebook said that they would get out of the way if they saw you coming. What would you do?
Hey, I'll jump. I'm a competitor, so I'm jumping, for sure. I'm jumping.
This was a big win for you guys. I mean, St. Mary's is a great team. What does a win like this mean for your season?
It's great. You know, coming in, I think we lost our last game, so just coming in home, and the home crowd getting the win, that's big. That's going to really boost our confidence.
It was fun to watch, and I'm going to watch that highlight again a few more times.
Appreciate it.
Good win. Guys, back to you.
All right, Triff, thanks so much. 18 points, 8 of 11 shooting for Josh Anderson, Wolfie. That is a force for Rick Stansbury team for Western Kentucky. That's a bench player. And I thought it was really interesting, sort of full circle commentary from the coach in the interview with John there a moment ago. This morning at Shooter, and I said, we have got to compete for 40 minutes. We do that, play that hard. That's a March Madness type effort today, I thought.
They played great defense. They played hard on the defensive boards. They played hard going to the basket. They didn't just settle for the three. They didn't have much of a game from Bassey. Yet Hollingsworth, who struggled the last couple games in their last 2 losses, came out and played efficient. You have Anderson coming off the bench, playing very, very strong. And I thought the team effort was there tonight. And I think if they continue to do that, they're going to get better and better. They just got Banton is a guy that I was real impressed with his guard play. 6 assists in the first half. I think that's going to be important moving forward in conference play.
Malik Fitz, 26, Jordan Ford, 26. Each spectacular today for St. Mary's as they head back home to Moraga, California after a tough one here today. Head-to-head with Western Kentucky. Fun one with Big Red today. For Steve Wilk, John Tripp, and the entire crew, I'm Dave Ryan saying so long from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Been a presentation of CBS Sports Network on Facebook Watch. So long from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And thanks for streaming. Thanks for watching, everyone. And happy holidays to all.